You're Mateo's older sister. Your name is Angelica, right? I just thought I'd let you know that I got your phone number from your little brother, so don't be too alarmed. Oh, Flora, right? Thank you again for today. I know that today we were all supposed to be there, so I'm sorry for not meeting with you in person. I know I made a promise even, but there was nothing I could do. You should be sorry about that. I didn't even imagine that the sister of my man would be willing to meet with me over video call on a day like today. And that's why I am very sorry about that. At first, I was going to be able to meet you in person, but then the plane I was planning on getting on didn't arrive at the airport due to bad weather, and so I had to wait a while to get home. Is that what happened? Well, it doesn't matter now. I'm sure that you are a very busy woman having to handle all that work. So if you're always going to be that caught up in your responsibilities, you really don't have to worry about me.
Angelica? Did you really go and buy that ticket to Hawaii yourself instead of letting me get it for you?
Hi, Mateo.
And I hear you went and reserved your own hotel room as well.
That's all the truth.
I'm so sorry. The reason you never got a notice from us is because Flora thought that you weren't going to be able to make it to our wedding and marked you as not coming on our guest list. That ended up causing us not to get you a ticket or a room, which left me in shock when that was brought to my attention later. I think that Flora was thinking you'd really be busy with your work at the time of our wedding, so that meant in her mind that you wouldn't be making it all the way out to Hawaii. I'm really sorry about that, Angelica.
Don't worry about it. I should have noticed something was up about that a whole lot sooner, but recently I've had a lot taking my attention away and totally forgot to check.
Will you be able to make it here for my wedding then?
My flight should be arriving there that morning, which means I'll make it to the wedding venue right on time. I've been to Hawaii plenty of times now for work, especially Honolulu. So when I get there, I'll know right where to go and the fastest way of getting to you guys.
Allow me to pay you back whatever you spent on tickets and the hotel later, please. I feel really bad about the confusion.
You don't have to bother with that. Things like that happen all the time, so I'm not blaming any of you for it. Now, thinking about this wedding, this will be my first time meeting with you after a year's gone by.
I mean, you and I call and text quite often, but I guess it has been a year now since we last saw one another in person during Mom and Dad's anniversary.
Because of work, I'm always away from home and all of you guys. And when it came to that day you planned out for me to finally meet with Flora in person, I had to do it over video call because my flight got delayed by a day.
That wasn't a big deal, though. Both of her parents understand that you are a very busy woman and that you're rarely even in the U.S. most of the time.
I plan to meet with them and Flora the moment I get to your wedding, so please let them know that.
Sure, I can do that.
What's this? Angelica, why have you come all the way out to Hawaii to be at our wedding? Flora? Oh, good timing, actually. I just got here a few minutes ago, but I was told by the lady at the front that I'm not on the guest list and that I'm not allowed to enter the venue. Well, of course you were told that by her. This wedding that we're holding today is only meant for family members to attend, and we made that decision from the very start of our planning. I'm aware of that, and I just so happen to be family of Mateo. Were you even listening? We only invited family to this wedding today. What? What makes you think that you're a part of our family and that you could come all the way out to Hawaii for the wedding? As my sister-in-law, you're not considered a part of our family, right? Mateo's getting married to me and will become a part of my family, but you are not a part of this marriage, which means you're not family, right? You're just a stranger to all of us. A stranger. If you want to be a part of a family so badly, then how about you find yourself a husband and get married into his family? We don't have any more room in this family for a woman like you to be entering right now. So would you turn around and go away now? Does this mean that what happened with things like the plane ticket and the hotel room were your doing? There were never any plans of getting you plane tickets to come here at a hotel room, right? I didn't forget or make any mistakes there. But I never thought that you would go and buy your own tickets and hotel rooms so that you could be here today. Are you really that crazy of a woman? You're scary. I knew that something like that was possible. You ended up growing up with no parents or any other family as a child, so you didn't have anyone to teach you things like common sense, right? Since you're just that mentally challenged now, I think this will mark the first day of you not being a sister to Mateo anymore. Huh? And do you think that Mateo would be all right with something like that? Do you think he'd be fine kicking me out of his life and no longer thinking of me as family? Oh, come on now, Angelica. Of course he wants you gone now. When Mateo first proposed to me, he said that he and I would become family. In other words, he's going to be cutting ties to you today and will become a part of my household. That's what he's been waiting for a long time now, I'm sure. So that's the idea you've come up with him? So, now that I've explained everything, you're nothing more than a stranger to us now. You aren't even invited to this wedding today. You're an uninvited guest that nobody here wants. Hurry up and go back home where you belong. Understood. Well, from here on out, we're just strangers to one another. Although when my brother proposed to you, I'm not so sure he meant he would be cutting me out and joining you all.
Angelica? Where are you right now? I got a message from you saying that you arrived at the airport, but you should be at the wedding venue by now though, right?
Mateo, I'm really sorry to have to tell you this, but sounds like I'm not going to be allowed to attend your wedding.
What? Why do you think that? You came all the way to Hawaii for this, so why would you say that you can't attend my wedding now? You're my only family when it comes to who I have left, and yet... No way!
I knew that would be the kind of reaction I'd get from you after hearing this.
Well, of course I'd be shocked and upset. It's because I've had you around all my life that I was able to attend college and get a good job. Why are you saying you're not allowed to attend my wedding now?
Have you not heard anything yet from Flora about this?
What? From Flora? Right now she's in her changing room getting her wedding dress on and everything. What would she know about this, though?
Could you please go to that changing room and ask her why something like this would be happening to me? And once you've heard what she has to say about me, you can decide how you want to act and what path you choose.
Angelica, I have no idea what is going on right now, to be completely honest with you. I guess I can go run over to her and see what's going on. Just give me a little bit. Flora, I was going to come in there to talk with you about something, but you seem pretty busy still getting changed, so would it be fine for me to just text you instead?
Yeah, we can text right now. What's up?
Just now I was talking with my sister about the wedding.
Oh, so that's what you want to talk about, right? She really is such a sly yet simple-minded woman, isn't she?
What?
I told her from the very start that today's wedding would only be for our family members to attend, all right? She wasn't even invited to come, yet she went out of her way to buy those plane tickets, book a hotel, and come all the way to Hawaii to try and force her way into the wedding. She really is such a mentally challenged woman, right? Whatever happened to people having any common sense?
Hold on a sec. Flora, was the reason you never booked my sister those plane tickets or got her a hotel room here because you didn't want her coming in the first place? You didn't want her coming because you don't consider her my family?
That's right. Once you marry me, you are no longer a part of her family anymore, so there's no reason to have her here now, right? And about that woman, did she really think she could just ask for everything in return after paying for you to go to a basic college or something? The right thing to do here is cut ties to her, Mateo.
I can't believe this. How could you?
Mateo?
Flora, this wedding is canceled now.
What?
I'm no longer getting married to you, and us being engaged is over with now.
Huh?
I was just with your parents a second ago and showed them the things you said, and we came to the conclusion together that this wedding was over with.
Why? You think I'm just going to accept this without you giving me a frickin' reason first?
The one and only family member that I have left, that being my older sister, was turned away from my wedding today by you. And that's why I can no longer marry you anymore.
Huh? Wait, what are you talking about, Mateo? When you proposed to me, you asked me to become a part of your family, right? That meant you were willing to cut ties to Angelica and choose me to become your family, right?
So that's what you thought. I guess I should have thought twice about saying something like that to a dimwit like you. Although I'm not sure that anywhere in those words I said was me also saying that I wanted to cut ties to my only sister, my only family, and go with you.
What? You didn't mean that.
I wanted you to take those words the way I meant them. What got you thinking down such a screwed up path like that in the first place after I proposed to you? And another thing, I believe that we talked about this before as well. The whole reason we were even able to afford this wedding venue at half the price in the first place was because of what my sister did.
Huh? What do you mean?
Angelica is running a company that imports different kinds of goods into the U.S. from countries all over the world, right? She has to travel all over the world to different companies to have meetings about making deals for them to send goods to her warehouses so that she can then sell them in the U.S. And one of the places that does a lot of that importing is Hawaii, from countries all over the world, but primarily Asia. One of the groups here in Hawaii that she's selling to a lot is the company who owns this wedding venue. And because of that relationship, she was able to rent this place for half the price.
Huh?
Yet the one person that we were all thankful for was kicked out of this wedding by you, the bride.
Mateo.
We are going to have a longer discussion about all of this when we get back home. Until our flight's back home, I'm going to go and stay at another hotel in order to be away from you and have time to myself to think.
No, wait, Mateo!
I'm not waiting. Goodbye for a while now.
Angelica, come back to the wedding venue right now. You can attend my wedding now. If you don't come back here right now, then I'm not going to be able to marry Mateo. I promise to regard you as my family now if you just please come back here. That way I can still marry Mateo, and you will finally have a family of more than just one person, right? Everyone will be able to win. Angelica?
Angelica? I had the whole entire wedding canceled. At the time, the person responsible for all of this didn't want to accept what was going to happen, but luckily, their parents were able to force the wedding to be ended, and our engagement to one another stopped.
I see. So you went ahead and got away from her. Even now, I'm getting call after call and text after text from her about how this is all my fault and that I need to come back.
I'm sorry about that. You can go ahead and just block her number now if you want. I'm going to officially break things off when I get back home and have the mental freedom to, but you don't have anything to do with her anymore, so you can just forget about her in general.
Understood. Then allow me to end things between her and I once and for all. That's right, you're probably going to need a lawyer or something, right? I can ask the lawyer that I go through for my company and see if he can recommend you a really good marriage lawyer to help you deal with Flora. Would you like that?
That would be wonderful, actually. Are you sure that's all right with your busy schedule, though?
All I have to do is give him a call and explain the situation, so it won't take time away from my job at all.
Thank you so much, Angelica. That'll save me plenty of time and mental strain now. By the way, I've gone and canceled my stay at the hotel I was planning on going to, and I changed my ticket to today so that I could go home now. Would you want to ride home on the same plane with me?
I see. I suppose I can do that too and find a seat on there with you. Let's do it. After getting back home, Mateo was able to officially call things off with Flora, with the help of the lawyer I got him in touch with and Flora's parents. Originally, there were talks about getting a settlement from Flora, but in the end, the only thing that Mateo asked for was that Flora pay for the whole wedding that was canceled. But even after that, Flora was still not willing to accept what had happened and would try her best to get Mateo back. She went all the way to Mateo's office building while he was there working and sat out front yelling and calling for Mateo to come back and talk with her. But when he continued to stay inside and not confront her, she ran up to the door and started to bang on it, screaming at the top of her lungs. Of course, the police were called on her, and within 10 minutes they had arrived and taken her away in a cop car because she wouldn't listen to them and began to resist arrest. She even hit one of the police officers with her purse, but was lucky that they didn't hold that one against her as assaulting an officer, or else she'd be facing harsher punishment right now. Instead, though, she was handcuffed and taken to the local police station, where she would be held waiting for her parents to pay her bail and pick her up. Later, Flora's parents got her from the police station and told her that after doing something so ridiculous as that and having to pay her $5,000 bail, she'd be going to work for a friend they had, and a man which Flora called disgusting, who just so happened to be single still and looking for a young wife. She would work at his factory making minimum wage in order to start paying off the wedding fees she'd been given, which required her to gut and clean chickens on a factory line, something that I never thought a woman like her would be doing. However, a few months later, when she had finally paid off all the debt she'd been in, her parents forced her into a marriage with the man who ran that factory, whom, once again, she called disgusting. Flora, who is really regretting everything she'd done and wants to come back to Mateo so bad, is now pregnant with the first of many children that her new man wants from her. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey sis, I bagged myself a new rich investor boyfriend. Huh? Wait a sec, is that Zoe? You bet it is. Wow, I haven't heard from you in 4 years. What are you talking about? Are you drunk again? No, I'm not drunk at all. I'm as sober as a judge. I thought your husband was a top exec at a major global company. What was his name again? Godwin, right? If I remember correctly, you told me in no uncertain terms not to come to your wedding because you didn't want a fat, ugly cave troll like me ruining the atmosphere. We got a divorce. What? Why? You wouldn't stop bragging when you married him. I remember you telling me you were set for life after bagging yourself a highly educated, filthy rich corporate exec. Well, that was true until he quit his damn job. Oh boy. He kept bringing it up for a few months beforehand, but I told him there was absolutely no way I'd let him quit, but he still went ahead and did it anyway. He handed in his resignation last month. I told him I didn't need an unemployed loser for a husband and made him pack up his things and leave in the middle of the night. Wow, I can't believe how lightly you view divorce. That's only because you're ugly and get literally no male attention ever, sis. Marriage stops being a sacred, unbreakable oath when you have options. I guess it can't be helped, though. If I was a big fat cave troll like you, I'd probably take divorce seriously, too. On top of that, you're probably the brokest loser I know. Let's face it, you were always doomed to lead a life of poverty when you dropped out of high school to start working in that fish factory. I did warn you back then, but you didn't listen. What man in his right mind would be interested in you? The only reason I dropped out of high school to work was to help pay for your tuition fees at the college you desperately wanted to get into. And not of my own will either. Mom and Dad forced me to drop out, remember? We have to make sure the beautiful daughter can at least make a success of her life. Ugh, God, I can still hear her harping on at me in my head now. Aha! I've got it. I'll tell you what, sis, since I'm super kind and you're a fat, ugly high school dropout with no prospects in life and no ability to attract a man, I'll give you my sloppy seconds. You can have Godwin. I'll pass, thanks. You don't have to hold back, Rachel. I know you're desperate. Oh, I get it. You're putting on a brave face because the shame of admitting you actually want my ex-husband would be too much to bear, right? It's okay, sis. Really, you guys are a match made in heaven. A high school dropout like you and an unemployed, poverty-stricken loser like him are perfect for each other. I'm seriously done with him, so you can take him off my hands now. I'm already married. Huh? Wait, what? I didn't tell you because, well, why the hell would I? But I got married 3 years ago. What the hell? Also, I'm technically not a high school dropout anymore. With the support and encouragement of my husband, I decided to sit my finals and passed with flying colors. I'm currently studying media and communications at a top 5 university while working part-time alongside my studies. Wow, what the... Are you really? Whatever, I don't care about that. There's no way you'd actually be capable of bagging yourself a decent guy. He's probably some overweight dweeb who dresses in raggedy-ass clothes with no personal hygiene, right? I bet you met him at the fish factory. As for me, I can get any guy I want whenever I want him. You can't hold a candle to my beauty, and don't you ever forget it. Assuming you're not just lying to protect your ego, the fact you were able to get married alone itself is a miracle. So please, stop bragging about your bottom-of-the-barrel level husband, because to be honest, it's just plain cringe. I'd appreciate if you didn't insult my husband, Zoe. Anyway, after replacing that unemployed chump with my new high-spec investor genius stud boyfriend, the path to fame, riches, and the celebrity lifestyle I've always dreamed of is finally set in stone. I see. Well, that's great, Zoe. Congratulations. Sorry for stealing all the happiness. You really are the biggest pain in the ass of a human being I've ever had the misfortune of knowing. Hey, Eric, will you be getting home soon?
Hey, Rachel. I won't be long now. Hey, remember the venture capitalist launching a startup around social media-based web design utilizing omni-channel customer engagement strategies to leverage synergistic paradigms to drive holistic growth in an ever-evolving market landscape guy I mentioned before? Well, we just got done with our meeting about me potentially providing some funding. I'm on my way home in a taxi as we speak.
Jeez, that was a mouthful. Eric, I'm happy for you to just call him startup guy in future, you know?
Wow, sorry, I don't know what made me write all that. To be honest, I was so impressed by the guy that he got me a little hyped up.
Does that mean you'll be providing him with the funds he needs?
I did plan on giving him my answer today, but we were met with an unfortunate interruption, so we had to reschedule.
An interruption?
Apparently he went through a divorce recently. I'd like to think it was just a coincidence, but his ex-wife was in the same cafe we were having our meeting in, and, well, she stormed over and started yelling at him in the middle of our talks. It was so embarrassing. I felt awful for the guy. She must have overheard our conversation because after yelling at him, she started hitting on me. Can you believe it? She wouldn't stop harping on about how she'd always wanted an investor boyfriend.
Good God, seriously?
Needless to say, by that point, our business talks had been well and truly hijacked, so it didn't feel right to give him my decision on the funding then and there. After a few minutes, I guess he realized she wasn't going to leave us alone because he mouthed reschedule at me with a slightly traumatized look on his face before hightailing it out of there.
What about you? Did she end up leaving you alone?
I paid the bill, made my way out to Main Street, and hailed myself a taxi faster than you could say Psycho X. I could have walked home, but I didn't want to risk her tailing me.
Wow, I see. Well, that was probably for the best. By the way, you wouldn't have happened to find out his ex-wife's name, would you? She sounds batshit crazy, so it wouldn't hurt to know just in case she tries anything.
Hang on a sec, what was it again? Ah, that's it. I'm pretty sure her name was Zoe.
What? Really? Her name was Zoe? Oh, God damn it.
Hey, wait a sec. Didn't you say you had a little sister called Zoe?
Startup guy wouldn't happen to be called Godwin, would he? That's what my sister's ex-husband is called.
Wow, are you serious? Holy crap! I mean, seriously, holy crap, this is intense. It's hard to believe it could be anyone but them. Talk about coincidence.
Listen, Eric, so this is where it gets super crazy. My little sister just messaged me for the first time in 4 years. She said she divorced her husband and replaced him with a new investor boyfriend.
What?
Eric, my sister has her sights well and truly locked onto you.
What?
You did the right thing to escape in a taxi. If she found out where we lived, she would have been at our house every day.
Do you think we should tell her I'm your husband?
We could tell her, but I'd be surprised if she believed me. She's second to none in her ability to twist and distort the truth to fit her narrative. So I'm not sure exactly how she'll take it, but I'm almost certain she won't believe me.
Now that you mention it, I remember you telling me about this before. You said she has an almost pathological tendency to make the most absurd assumptions and misunderstandings about pretty much everything, right?
Yep, you pretty much just summed her up perfectly. The problem is, on the off chance that she did believe me, I think she'd probably start seeing me as a rival, and I can't promise she wouldn't do something crazy to take revenge. Once she was arrested and taken to court for stalking my cousin's husband, who was the president of a company at the time. It's like she just loses all common sense and reason as soon as she sees a man with money.
I see. Maybe instead of setting her straight head on, it might be better if we bided our time and waited for the right moment before telling her the truth and making our escape too quickly for her to launch any attacks on us.
Making our escape, huh? I see. Right, making it coincide with our plans for a month from now would probably be the smartest way to do this, wouldn't it? Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yep, bingo, we're on the same page. Honestly, I don't see any other alternatives at this point.
I'm so sorry for all the trouble my sister caused you today, Eric. I know this must have been the last thing you needed. Anyway, I think you should probably be careful when you're out and about for the time being. There's no telling what she's capable of.
Got it, I will. You be careful too, okay, babe? If she messaged you for the first time in 4 years today, that means you're back on her radar too.
I'm so lonely. I want to see my investor boyfriend, but I can't. Huh? What are you talking about? Like I said, I can't see my investor boyfriend, and I'm super lonely. Do you think that could be because you don't have his contact details? Sure I don't for now, but there is a way I could get a hold of them. It seems like him and my ex-husband Godwin are acquaintances, so I messaged him asking for his number. I don't know whether it's the pain of knowing he can't have me anymore, but he's being super mean-spirited and won't reply. Interesting. I see. Are you sure it doesn't just mean he's not interested in you? No way, that's not possible. There's no man on this planet who could resist my good looks and charm. One little suggestive invitation from me is all it takes for them to run in my direction. I always get my way. And in actual fact, my investor boyfriend fell in love with me the moment he laid eyes on me. And yet, in spite of that, he didn't even give you his number. Isn't that strange? He's probably just being shy. Please, sis, would you quit making these jealousy-fueled passive-aggressive remarks already? It's kinda tragic. A high school dropout loser like you had no chance against a college-educated beauty like me to begin with. Like I said before, I'm not a high school dropout anymore. Anyway, a person's value isn't determined by their educational background. A degree is just a piece of paper at the end of the day. When all's said and done, it's who you are on the inside that's important. Okay, thanks for the input, you pathetic sore loser. Anyway, I gotta get my new boyfriend's number as soon as I can. He must be panicking so hard right now. He's probably beside himself with worry after realizing he has no way of messaging me. Ugh, I give up. This is such a waste of time. Rachel, oh my god, what the heck? That was you I saw just now, right? That was you in the passenger seat of my investor boyfriend's Lamborghini just now, wasn't it? What the hell is going on here? Explain yourself. Oh my god, are you trying to steal my boyfriend from me? I won't let you get away with this. What the hell do you think you're playing at? Hey, If you know my boyfriend, you need to give me his number now. Godwin already moved out of town and none of my messages are getting through to him. If you have information on my investor boyfriend, then you need to hand it over, bitch. Hey, Eric. Looks like Godwin was able to move out of town without a hitch.
Yep. He bought a place with a big spacious study to use as his company office. He's going ahead with the registration procedures as we speak. I agreed to give him the money he needed, but since he moved out of town, I'll be keeping an eye on his progress from afar instead of the regular meetings we had planned before the incident. That's fine, though. I guess that's why video calls were invented. I've got high hopes for this guy. He plans to use the connections he made during his years at the major global company to generate business leads. If anyone can make this thing succeed, it's him.
That reminds me, my aunt told me something. Godwin's marriage to my sister? Apparently he was never too hot on the idea, but both of their parents were so aggressively relentless in encouraging them to tie the knot, he felt like he had no choice. To put it simply, he was half forced into it.
Yeah, I heard about that too. He constantly used to tell me how much he hated it and wanted to divorce her.
Wow, really? Well, I'm pleased that he at least got what he wanted in the end. Anyway, not long left now, huh?
I'm getting ready to do my final packing checks on Tuesday. After that, all that remains is to actually take the plunge.
I'm a genius. I knew that if I did a little snooping around and had a few chats with your friends, asking a sneakily worded question here, putting out a feeler there, I'd be able to get a hold of your address in no time. I only wish I'd thought of it sooner. With your address in hand, all that remains is the simple matter of coming to your house and checking your phone to find my investor boyfriend's number. Yes, Rachel, my dearly beloved big sister, this means what you think it means. I found you. I can't believe you were right under my nose the whole time. I had no idea you were living in an apartment building 2 blocks away from me. Anyway, I'm outside. Hurry up and come to the door. Zoe, you keep referring to your new man as nothing but your investor boyfriend. Would you mind telling me why that is? Huh? No way. Could it be? Is it possible that not only do you not have his phone number, but that you also don't know his name? Well, it's hardly my fault. Anyway, I'll have his name today when I finally get his phone number, so it's not like it's a big deal. I know who he is. I know you do. I saw you in his frickin' Lamborghini. What I'm wondering is why the hell would you, a fat, ugly cave troll and our parents' least favorite child, have anything to do with my high-rolling investor boyfriend? I don't know what kind of cunning shenanigans you pulled to bag yourself a ride in his car, but you need to quit being so arrogant and stay the hell away from him from now on, because me and him are madly in love. Your investor boyfriend is my husband. What the hell? Wait a sec. What the hell are you talking about? There is no way a broke, ugly loser like you could ever bag yourself a high-spec guy like him. You're pretty much at the bottom of society. With wealth like this, he soars so high in the skies of success that you're invisible to him. I don't care whether you believe me or not. I don't care enough to prove it to you either. We'll never see each other again, so why would I? Huh? You know, it didn't feel real until today. What didn't feel real? What do you mean we'll never see each other again? I'm outside your house, you idiot. That's nice. You see, me and my husband are moving to Portugal today. Portugal? That's right. We came here due to my work circumstances. The head of our Portugal branch handed in their resignation a few months back. My boss approached me with an offer. I accepted, and we've been making preparations to leave our old lives in the States behind and start anew in the Portuguese sun. I have no idea when we'll be back. So basically, it's a shame you put so much effort into finding out where I live only to find out we're not in the country anymore. But we already sold the apartment you're currently loitering outside of, so I suggest you go home unless you want a neighbor to call the cops on you. What? You mean you're never coming back here? Yes, exactly. We just arrived at the airport. See ya. No, I don't care if you go, but you can't take my investor boyfriend with you. You need to leave him behind for me. Rachel! No! As you might have guessed, my parents always played favorites with me and my sister, and by that I mean she was their favorite while I got ignored. Thankfully, my aunt sensed something was wrong and swooped in to save me. She tried to save my sister Zoe too, because she knew that being spoiled too much could be just as damaging as being neglected. But she enjoyed being the center of attention too much and rejected my aunt's offer. With that, my parents began piling on the love and attention even more, even when she was misbehaving. Which meant she inevitably grew into the delusional, self-obsessed monster we saw today. Hilariously, she never did end up finding out her investor boyfriend's name. Oh, and I don't know why, but our parents divorced shortly after the events of today's saga. My aunt mentioned something about them falling out after Zoe divorced Godwin, but honestly, who knows? With that, not only did my sister lose her husband and her new investor boyfriend, who was supposed to whisk her off her feet and ride her off into the sunset like a knight in shining armor, but her family also disintegrated. I heard she moved to New York to find some other poor chump to leech off of because she's heard that's where rich folk hang out. But in the end, she started dating some shady dude who was wrapped up in a bunch of bad stuff. They started taking heroin together, and Zoe got into a bunch of debt to fund their habit. The future doesn't look too bright for my sister.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.